Hi, I'm Pattu from FreeFinCal, and in this video, let's look at the returns on the corpus lost to commissions in direct plan mutual funds. This is the sixth anniversary report. So, direct mutual fund plans were introduced on 1st January 2013. So, 6 years have passed, and this is the sixth anniversary report. Now, what is a regular plan? A regular plan is the one that you can buy from banks, mutual funds that you can buy from banks and free portals and people who come to your house and get the signatures for the for the SIP and so on. So from the so-called independent financial advisors or the mutual fund distributors. So that's a regular plan, and in the regular plan, every day before the mutual fund NAV is published, three things are removed. One, the mutual fund company removes the a portion of your money, the current value of its from its current value, its profit, that is its management fees, and it removes expenses for running the fund, and it also removes commissions to pay distributors. In the direct plan, that commissions is not removed. So every day before the NAV is published, these three things are removed from the regular plan mutual fund. So this means that as your money grows, the commissions commissions taken out will be more. So before we discuss this, we talk about expense ratios and discuss the returns between direct plan and regular plan. If you are a mutual fund distributor, do not waste your time watching this video. Just because I made this video or I wrote this post today, the link is in the description box, nothing is going to happen. No great things going to happen. If you start circulating this in your WhatsApp groups like you have done my previous videos, and the people from your community start commenting, the only thing that will happen is this video will become more popular, and YouTube will start serving it more and more in the recommended videos on the sidebar. So if you truly want nobody to know about this return difference, then don't comment, don't react, don't ignore, please don't watch it. If you do comment, I won't care. I mean, I'm just going to be the beneficiary of this, so keep that in mind. So let's move forward. So in my opinion, and I've written about this in an article on Economic Times, the commission structure of mutual funds is plain fraudulent, and SEBI is responsible for this, because SEBI has only one mandate, in my opinion, to serve the interests of the investor. Instead of that, SEBI wants to popularize mutual funds and so on. What? That's nonsense. Popularizing mutual funds essentially is a profit-making activity. That's not SEBI's job. The problem is that because there is no transparency in the way commissions are being calculated, everybody has this. Most investors have the impression that the commissions are being paid by somebody else. So it's like when you buy a bar of soap, you know that the profit of the soap manufacturer, the profit of the wholesaler, the profit of the retailer, it's all built into the single bar of soap. You know that. But the same thing is applicable for mutual funds. But many people believe, and people in the media and people and all these mutual fund sales guys give the impression that the commissions come from profits of the mutual fund. That's completely wrong. The commissions come from our investments, not the investments, the current value of its investments on a daily basis, whether the market moves up or not, whether you invest again or not, every day the commissions will be taken out. That's a fact. And because this fact is not popularly known, essentially the whole way in which commissions are paid out is fraudulent. That's my opinion. I'm sure most of you will disagree, but I don't care. So there's a lack of transparency. SEBI wants to disclose the amount of commissions paid out, but they must also disclose where the commissions are coming from. It's not important. Saying 100 rupees is commissions is not important. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the investor's value or current investment value. Now, trail commissions, or essentially removing commissions from the total expense ratio, must be stopped. That's of course my opinion. You can call it a rant. It must be replaced with a kind of an entry load. That is, if you invest 100 rupees in a mutual fund via a distributor, 2 rupees must be removed from the money before it is actually invested, 98 rupees should be invested at the current NAV. If you do that, then there will be no difference in the NAV between a regular plan and direct plan. There's actually be no difference there, and the investor will understand where the money is actually going. It's going from their invested value and not the current value in the market. Now, the AMCs also constantly fool around with the TER. Earlier, they could, the TER, the total expense ratio of the mutual fund, has got several components. I have a post explaining this, and there was fungibility among these components. So that is, as long as the total TER was kept constant, the AMCs had considerable room to change these component weights. But now SEBI has made it more difficult. SEBI has mandated that the components should be transparent, and the money should be, all expenses should be paid out from the scheme alone. And so this fooling around will come down to a certain extent. I've talked about this fooling around. By fooling around, I mean making artificially making the difference between the regular plan and direct plan expense ratios less, so that it doesn't look so much, and which means that the regular plans are basically subsidizing the direct plan, paying out some commissions. That's of course my opinion. I have written a couple of posts about it, and I've even complained about it, but well, I cannot disclose more details. But that is that. But there are links in today's post about all this. You can read it, about what I'm trying to say. If I get into this, it will become too boring. So I have an Excel mutual fund tracker, and I have used that tracker to generate the following data. Now, the first is Mire Emerging Blue Chip Fund, regular plan, Mire Emerging direct plan, all of them growth options. So this is an SIP that was started on the 2nd of January 2013, and as on 10th January 2019, the SIP was a monthly SIP of 1,000 rupees. So the total is 73,000 invested. The current value is shown there, and the returns are shown there. Notice the return difference between the regular plan and the direct plan is about 1.1%. And what is more important is, if you take the difference between the corpus values, that is, direct plan has got a higher corpus. So direct plan corpus minus regular plan corpus divided by 73,000 is 6.4%. So that's the difference in corpus divided by the total investment. So it's like the difference is like 6%. Over 6 years, it's like 6% of the total invested money. So, and that you can see that for Axis Focused Fund, ICICI Blue Chip Fund, Franklin Smaller Companies, and HDFC Mid-Cap Opportunities Fund. You can see that, pause the screen and have a look at that. Notice that the XIRR difference, it looks small. Oh, it's only 1%. It's only, but the amount will keep growing. But it's 1% over every year. It's an annualized return, please recognize. And it's over every year. If you invest for 5 years, you lose about 5%. Over 10 years, you lose about 10%. So they say that long-term capital gains tax from equity funds is 10%. Right? So, but if you invest in a regular plan for 10 years, you will lose 10% to commissions alone. And then you will lose 10% to tax. Of course, there is at least in the taxation, there is a 1 lakh tax free limit. That's not there for the regular plan funds. So what you should do is obvious. It's 2019, people. Get rid of your regular plans. So I have published extensive tables on the expense ratio difference between the regular plan and the direct plan. Notice this is the top 10 or so. Notice a huge expense ratio difference. That's an atrociously huge expense ratio difference. That's what you lose almost every year when you invest in regular plans. And this is the 3-year return difference. So I've taken a 3-year SIP in a direct plan, calculated found the return from value research. Then the same thing for a regular plan, and that's the difference in returns. It's again huge difference. So that's like, those are the top ones. The full table is available as an Excel file in the article linked below. That's over 3 years, and I have several tables. I don't want to show you everything. This is over 5 years, and that's huge. Whether it is 3 years or what you should understand is, whether it is 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, the return difference will only be about 1 to 1.5% or so, but the corpus difference will keep growing. That's what's important. Many people do not understand how this works, unfortunately. They think, oh, it's small. And many people have this argument, it's okay if the people who advise me get this money, but many people have no clue of what is the actual amount they're getting. That's okay. If that's your stance. Who cares? It's your money. What do I care? But you should have an informed stance about what's actually happening. That's my point. So, who should use regular plan mutual funds? Nobody. Nobody. It's 2019, people. It's time to grow a brain, time to understand that it's not hard to invest in direct plans. Everybody who wants to invest in a mutual fund should only use a direct plan. I've seen some popular YouTubers saying, oh, you should use regular plans. What the hell is wrong with them? Oh my god. They're not even sales guys. That's what is work. If they're sales guys, I can understand. They're not even sales guys. They're just nuts. So, come on, everybody who wants to invest in a mutual fund should be investing in a direct plan. It's 2019. You can invest. There are like 20 direct plan portals. There's no need to have a portal to invest in all funds. First of all, the easiest thing to do is to just select one or two funds and directly invest via the AMC. If you want, I want it for consolidation, I want it for tracking, and that means looking at it every day. Then there are like 20 mutual fund portals. Some of them are free, they'll sell your data. There's mutual fund utility available, which is from the Association of Mutual Funds, which is also free. There are plenty of ways. Many of these portals also give you, for a fee, they give you robo advisory. They'll give you triggers for rebalancing. Come on, that's why I keep saying it's 2019. What are you, living under a stone to think that you cannot invest in, you don't have a single place to invest in and it's hard to get advice? You want advice? You can get it from the robo portals. You can get it from fee-only SEBI registered investment advisors. Come on. Don't get advice from a sales guy who gets commissions from multiple AMCs. What is wrong? Oh man, this is silly. But then there is this. But I will get lesser units because the NAV of the direct plan is more. No, that's stupid. I'll show you how, even though you get lesser units, the corpus you will get will be significantly low and the returns will be low in a regular plan. The direct plan corpus will always be higher, even though the number of units are less. The direct plan return will always be higher. I will show that in a separate video. I also need ideas so let me do that in a different video. Then they say the return difference is less, so it's only about 1%. They do not, and many people do not understand what that impact is of that 1% over 10 years, 15 years. They do not understand how it can magnify and just blow up. But time to wake up and smell the coffee. I hope you understand what that means. If you don't, please Google that up. Switch your regular funds to direct plans. Today, even right now, the NAV of most mutual funds will be lower than the NAV that was there on January 31st, 2018. So if you switch out all the units which are more than 1 year old as on date, you will still be able to switch out free of tax, and most often it will be free of exit load also. So it's very easy to gradually switch. So first stop your SIPs in regular mutual funds, start your SIPs in direct funds, and gradually switch the units as they become free of exit load. And sometimes when the market falls, you will also have an option, also have an opportunity to do so without tax incidence also. And also there is also a 1 lakh tax-free limit for capital gains, long-term capital gains. So you can utilize that as well to switch from regular funds to direct funds, direct plans. So what are you waiting for? So I'll catch you again in another video. If you're insulted by what I said, well, I can't help it. Bye-bye.